Hey Internet, welcome back to Easy Riding. I'm Zach.
I'm Emma.
Let's get to working on the next steps for the Yamaha LT3.
This appears to be a genuine Mikuni carburetor. It came with the bike, but it's in a baggie, was not attached to the bike. We have a carb repair kit, rebuild kit on the way for it. In the meantime, we're going to get this thing cleaned up and ready for that action. I don't know if this carburetor was black initially or if that's something someone has done to this. So we'll have to find out and see if we need to repaint it or just strip it. One way or the other, something needs to happen though, because it's a
Two-tone.
Yeah, it's two-tone. When you are working on a piece of equipment like this, especially one meant to handle fuel, you want to make sure that when it goes back together, it's very dry because you don't want water in your fuel. That would be a bad thing. However, we've got probably a few steps before we get to the point where we're worrying about that.
Another good reason to video anything you're doing is so that you can reference it in case you don't remember where things go.
Yeah.
Take pictures as you go along, taking things apart, or do a video just for yourself so that you know where did this screw go or where did that thing go.
This is the float bowl. No, there it goes. That's our float. That's the float bowl. It's a little cruddy in there. So we're going to do a more thorough cleaning with an ultrasonic cleaner for these parts. However, we can give it, a head start by getting the large crud out of here with this parts washer.
Maybe loosening some things up.
No. Oh, really?
Ha!
Good job.
That was a, it was a 10. Yep. 10 millimeter. Got that bolt off.
Interesting.
What's this one? Float bowl. Large bolt?
I'm gonna call it the drain plug. I think it probably does more than just drain, but that's what I'm gonna call it.
Float bowl drain plug. One of my favorite tips with working on any kind of car or motorcycle, stuff like that. I like having a pen, sticky notes, and yogurt cups or little containment cups. You can write what the piece is.
The purple power.
Write what the piece is on the sticky note. Put it in the little cup. Helps you keep track of bits and bobs. Purple power. Sorry. Squirt the object, not the Zach.
Okay, so this is the float, and it is important that the float and not be. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's broke right there.
It is
It's
broke.
crumbling.
Huh.
So we might have to try and source another float, which I'm pretty certain some of the kits I saw came with one.
Yeah.
But also, I think that those kits looked like they were for the knockoffs.
Not the OEMs.
So we'll see how relevant they are to us. I'll have to check.
Float pin.
Float pin and float.
What's that button?
It's the choke, I assume. All right, let's see. Got like the number 8, maybe. Yep.
Left.
Nope. There you go.
Where? This?
Yep. Just be careful not to hit the posts and snap them.
Yeah,
with
'cause
leverage.
that strong.
You can do it.
Center post tube and nut.
Let's see. These are probably, well, this one might be a jet. I don't know that that one's a jet.
It didn't have the little thing on it.
Start with this one. This one, I'm going to assume is the main jet. That looks like how it would be situated if I were to guess.
Ooh. Okay. What are we gonna call that?
Pretty certain that's the choke.
Bing. Got her.
Ta-da.
Does that go in a bucket?
Sure. Just in case. Not that we couldn't get more cotter pins, but
Carb cleaner. Do we have
yeah,
a spray?
we could hit it with the
carb
spray.
cleaner.
Sure, we can hit it with that. Well, it doesn't have to be super far away, yeah. We might put the nozzle on and spray into some of those ports. Flathead, yeah.
What am I doing?
Right there.
Oh, that jet?
See if that will
Yep.
spin out of there.
You do. There you go.
Okay, I think it's as apart as we can make it. To check the spark, first we have to remove the spark plug. You want to do it, Emma?
Sure. Boot off. Spark plug.
Alright, it doesn't look too bad. So one of us is just going to hold this against this to
Okay.
make a grounding connection between the body.
Okay.
And one of us is going to push down on the lever to see if we can get a spark. Go again? No, I don't see any spark happening.
It's making whoopee noises.
Which means we're probably going to have to dig into the magneto. We were going to record just a quick little take this cover off, see what we got under here at the magneto. I had some screws get stuck on me again. I was going to do the same thing I did in the last video where I just used the tap set on it and pulled them out. However, this one, that went fine on. This one was stuck. Tap got it out, or bolt removal got it out. This one is not so fortunate, so we're going to have to employ some alternative methods. This is a method I've seen done mostly by Salvage Workshop, where he drills out a hole just big enough or just smaller than the teeth on a Torx bit, and then he hammers a Torx bit into the hole, and all those teeth provide the grab so that you can twist it out of there. We're gonna give that a shot.
That was way too easy.
Yeah, I think something must have given loose with the drilling, because it's coming out now. The Torx was unnecessary. That's fine, I'll take it.
That was a long
Ooh.
one.
Glad that wasn't the damaged one.
And what is this thing?
So this is the flywheel magneto. So as this spins around, it induces an electric current that provides the impetus for the spark out of the spark plug. I also believe the points are behind here. That's what we're gonna work on next, is making sure the points are clean so that, because we're not getting a spark. And then I noticed this was not connected. So Emma, can I get you to give us a little kick over there again? Oh, look at that, spark. You can see they've got just a little bit of sort of a residue on them that I want to get off, that the ultrasonic cleaner left behind. They do look significantly better than they did, but we're going to start with that. And to do that job, I have a Dremel, and yes, an actual Dremel, not just a rotary tool. that has a wire brush on it. All right, we've got our parts clean. We are going to take the black off of this at some point in the future. I tried a little bit with a wire brush and it's going well. It'll look good when it's done, but it takes a long time to even get this portion done. So probably going to hit it with some sort of paint stripper before trying to wire brush it or something, because that would take forever to do it that way with the brush I have currently. So in the meantime, we're going to reassemble. We found a website called partsfish.com, and they've got all sorts of parts and pieces for old vintage bikes. The Yamaha specifically that we have is one of them, and more handy almost than the parts that we could get is the exploded view of a lot of the different components of the bike. So that's going to help a lot. But we also ordered a box of goodies to replace the rubber and gasketing materials that will not have survived the time. So let's get to reassembly.
All right. We've got our yogurt cups labeled with various parts, and hopefully it'll go back together.
Float bowl, drain plug. I'll have to look up the settings for these. These are probably the adjustment points. And typically for carburetors that I have experience with, you tighten it down all the way, not tight, but seat it all the way and then back it out a specific number of turns, and that's how you get to a starting point, and then you can tune it from there.
You just doing this by memory or like?
Yeah.
Good. I don't remember any of this. Now, do you have to put anything on that?
No, some guys do put stuff, RTV and whatnot, on gaskets, and for some circumstances I think it's warranted. I don't think it needs it for this, especially since we're going to take this back apart, and as long as the gasket's in good enough shape, we'll just reuse it. We might take this back apart, we might not take this back apart. Got us some more screws. So these were missing, and I got some additional ones since they're actually the same size as the ones on the cover that were bunged up.
So what did you just put back in?
This is the little adapter between the cylinder and the carburetor.
Is it also the reed valve?
It is also the reed valve, yes. Using the box end on a 1/4-inch wrench to turn this bit in here. We we need our O-ring. So I left one of these bolts in because these are slotted, so I could just slide it into place on that side. This is the idle set screw. This is the air adjust, and the manual says snug it up all the way in and then out 1.5 turns, and that is the factory setting.
No more, no less.
Half, 1, half. Just like that.
Okay. What's next?
Now, let's stick the top of the carburetor on the slide. I realized what I was doing wrong. The most of my experience comes from butterfly valve carburetors, not slide valve. There's a tiny peg inside there that lines up with this slot and allows this to seat fully all the way down in here. And you can see the way that this idle adjust here will move in and out on that cone and drive this ramp to give this up or down at its bottommost travel. So that's how that works. This one's in the way.
This one? This one? The old man? He's causing problems for Zach. Do you have to hook up that other like accelerator cable looking thing?
Other accelerating cable.
The thing that's hanging down there.
That goes to the pump.
Oh. Okay.
And opens it up to give more
Hey,
oil
behind you.
while you're throttling up. So we're not going to right now, no.
And the boot goes on. A lot of motorcycle maintenance is reading the manual. Trying to find information. What do you think, doggo? Do you think we're gonna get it to go? Congress? We're gonna get it to go?
All right, Emma, can I get you to pop the cover off of that side where the oil reservoir is? I need that one.
Pop the cover, this over here?
Yep, not the oil pump, not the reservoir. Is our fuel filter getting gasoline? It might be on stop. I don't know whether the handle or the other end is the one that points at the direction that it's unlocked to.
See anything? Oh, there's moisture coming out that knob right here.
Oh, up here?
No,
Oh.
right here.
Well, that's not where anything's supposed to come out. This was supposed to be a new one.
Griffin tried to eat your shop towels.
Okay. So it is the direction that this is pointing, so that's stop. If you recall before, we spun this enough to get oil to come up out of the banjo bolt spot here. I'm actually going to now spin it to get oil up all the way through the tube here so that if this does fire up and start, that we have some two-stroke oil up at the cylinder. Oh man, that is bound to the banjo bolt, not
That's weird. There we go. You see this?
The oil coming out?
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Before we...
Into that?
Yep, so it's pushing it up through here into the cylinder. This is where it mixes with the air
Okay.
and the gas. All right, I think we're ready to try to kick this thing.
Are you sure?
I think.
You have all the holes covered?
Does it feel right?
No. You have all the holes covered and all of the...
Pull our choke out. All right.
It gave one good cough
Yep.
and then...
And then it was done.
Does that mean we need to add more liquids? Like, is that the problem? More gas or more oil?
No, we've got plenty of gas.
We have a little bit of oil.
Even if the oil was not present, it would fire and then possibly tear itself up, but it would fire.
Okay.
We might have bad compression. The piston itself and the piston rings might be seized in their groove. That's a possibility, so they might not be free to move like they're supposed to. It did try to kick over, which gives me, hope for this engine. So, well, I think that's as far as we're going to get before we have to actually tear it apart, see what else is wrong with it. It's going to look worse before it looks better.
It always gets worse before it gets better.
We'll see you guys later.